table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B and that rhymes with a P and it stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. Say your young men will be frittering. Frittering away their noontime, supper time, short time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind get the dandelions picked or the screen door patch or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till the parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night and that's trouble. Lots and lots of...
Hi everybody, welcome to Lost Lore Academia. I am Philip and I'm Long Lost Lore, and ensconcing me in some ways, but not all, are the wonderful players who are here for the evening so far, although we will have another, I believe. And doing that rousing rendition of everybody's favorite number from the pajama game was Dan. Dan, that was a really good.
That's not Dan. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Harold Hill. Okay. Harold Hill is one of my dream roles.
I'm so sorry, Henry Higgins, Professor Henry Higgins.
Yeah, that's right.
The professor you're talking about.
There we go. We go.
It's so close, but it's Henry Higgins. For my first lady.
I have often walked.
Mm-hmm. That is what it is. Although it's that loser who sings that song.
Yeah,
it's it's one of those things where, gee, the best song in this musical, according to this guy's like sung by like that loser.
I have not seen My Fair Lady in probably 2 decades.
I really hope that somewhere out there is a musical theater buff who's just really mad. That's all I hope.
But you called it my first lady.
Oh my god, that would be
tragic.
Yeah, just that, or just identifying everything wrong. But hi everybody, welcome. So yes, this is Lost Lore Academia. We are playing it. Aren't we excited? Because I know that you guys have a lot of you guys have a moderate amount of characters that you have accrued over the past couple of weeks, including in this past week. A very good effort has been done at upping the inspiration, and you have, because of the activity done just today, you have crossed the 3,000 inspiration mark. So you guys are going to be rewarded with 3 characters from locations, from settings that you haven't sort of explored yet. Who if you don't have to use them, but you have now the pages and lore to bring them in. So if you choose to, you can do so. You also have a location that has been sought for a long time called Bitter End, and you also have just have another character who, again, I cannot stress this enough, doesn't matter and wasn't worth anyone's time to bring into the game, because this character will give you nothing. And that's because the character's a dog. So, let's see. What are we going on? What's going on with everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're having trouble here in River City.
That's true.
Oh my god! See, the thing is, that's not even my favorite song. Like, I think there are so many good songs. I like in February of 2022, I went to New York to see Hugh Jackman do it on Broadway with some of my best friends in college. It was so good. But obviously, like, Robert Preston is the quintessential Harold Hill, right? I think we can all agree. Like, he originated the role on Broadway. In the movie, he was great. Like, he just Hugh Jackman was great, but he didn't have he seemed too nice about it. He didn't have the kind of sense of danger that Robert Preston brought to it.
What about Lyle Landley?
Who?
Lyle Landley? That's the Lyle Landley is the monorail salesman in The Simpsons.
Oh,
it's based on.
Right? Yeah. I don't know that episode well enough to just be able to reference it, but I should.
It's a really good one. It's a Conan O'Brien written episode because he was also a huge fan of.
Oh, Conan.
Music fan. Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. Well, I'm if you can't tell, I'm sort of slightly stalling just in case we're able to get one more player here before we jump in, because I was told this was the time the person would be arriving, I believe.
I mean, if you just mention the Music Man one more time, I'm pretty sure Dan will tell you another fun fact about it.
Yeah, did you know Shirley Jones was pregnant when they filmed that movie?
Wow. Who was Marion the librarian in the version you saw? I know the answer. I'm letting him say it.
Wasn't
Sutton Foster.
Sutton Foster.
Yeah. She's a big deal.
She was.
She's kind of a big deal.
I
for me.
wasn't there while she was still on Broadway, but I saw her at the Broadway flea market last year,
Oh wow.
and she was so sweet. She was like talking to everyone. Aw, look at you.
I also have the playbill framed on my wall somewhere else.
Man, this guy's into it.
Wild time.
This guy's.
In high school, I was the mayor's daughter, Gracie Shin, and I got to say, "Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming up the depot."
I mean, also Ron Howard was the kid in the movie.
Ronnie
Aw.
Howard.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was Winthrop.
Winthrop. Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Amaryllis, but my best friend got to be Amaryl.
Amaryllis.
That is so rude if your best friend.
Amaryllis.
I can't believe your best friend did that to you.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with that person?
Yeah.
Wow, you're more forgiving than I.
I mean, it could have been either of us, same height, both Asian. It really could have. It was a toss-up.
I didn't. I don't know that I was in any. I don't think I was ever in any like iconic, like musical like that. I don't think I was in any musical like that at that age.
Because you went to a cute all-boys school.
I did go to a hideous all-boys school, in fact.
Oh,
I
tragic.
was not a theater kid growing up. So.
Oh, we did multiple musicals, but they were just weird. We did one that was about like a train in Russia and wolves coming up to it on the outside.
That sounds cool.
And it was very strange, but it was not like a classic musical. Come on, let's just do guys and guys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys and guys.
Guys and guys. The speaking of the Simpsons, hey guys, this is gonna have a few Simpsons references, and then as soon as Kevin gets here, we'll stop the Simpsons references because he likes them too much. But in the Simpsons, there's a thing where Mark Hamill is guest starring and he gets to be in Guys and Dolls, but none of the songs are really Guys and Dolls, and one of the songs they sing is Guys and Dolls, we're just a bunch of crazy guys and dolls. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And that's how it goes. So that's not even to a song from Guys and Dolls. That's just a Hooray for Hollywood. Also, I just realized that Dr. Holden Thane had the casinos up the whole time, and that no, you didn't. Wait, casino your default
for this game.
That's really
Oh my
cool.
God.
That's really cool. The casinos. It was just
'Cause it's
ready to
happening.
go. Oh my
Secretly
Is it
in the
happening?
background.
Is it happening?
He's gonna try. This guy's gonna make it happen. Well, now that people are here, we can just sort of talk about musicals for only like 15 more minutes.
Great.
If we want
Great.
to. But no, we can jump into this classic. And I think that you were not here last time, so we'll give you a recap of
That's correct.
what happened. Where I hope I did Frankie. I hope I did Frankie. And
What did you, Frankie?
I'm trying to say I can't remember the other person's name because it's not written in front of me.
Callie?
Callie, yep. I hope I did Callie and Frankie justice.
I think so.
When they were,
You
when
guys
they were not
approved the
here.
casino. Thank you.
By saying we approve the casino. Yes, we'll wear these. Yes, we'll wear these uniforms.
Oh, uniform I'm very into.
We agree that Harley is the perfect TA.
That's a bridge too far.
It really was too far. No.
Yeah, I do believe that Frankie would like the structure that a uniform system would provide.
Would love.
If everyone's in uniform, then nothing is there to make us stand out except raw merit and talent.
I would like them to continue beyond college.
Sure. Life uniforms.
That's called the Giver.
It's true. What is this? It's called a color. Okay. Last time there actually was kind of one thing that Frankie was sort of taking point on was that before our last session there was a holiday special issue of Top Flight that was anything but jolly because the character The Final returned to the Top Flight world, and within the comic, Archetype, aka Connor, suspected that The Final was able to return to their world because he must have been summoned in yours. So suddenly there is a fear that by doing this, we've done this. Now, there also was a sort of an implication that it might not only have been that the final was a mythic level, because I think you were here when the final got summoned.
Mm.
So it wasn't only that the final was this mythic level character who was able to sort of return and wreak havoc, and look cool while doing so, just cool and gray and empty. But that somehow Wilderado had used interdimensionality. I don't know, maybe Wilderado got a little bit of a power surge somewhere in there at some point, was able to sort of possess his own character here to bring the final with him out. So there was some shenanigans going on there. So it is kind of the first feeling of, so it looks like we are affecting, even though these characters cannot hurt us, bringing them here has affected other people, which has raised a question of, is it right for us to research Maisey? Now, DJ3 pointed out, like, yeah, because I'm a bad person, I'm just trying to torment Dan. So basically, DJ3 pointed out, like, yeah, but it's a superhero world, people are always coming back to life, and Armament understandably was kind of like taking a gasp, like, well, I mean, hold on now, it's like a big deal when people die, but you were like, no, yeah, it's true, like, comic books, people just constantly die and always, so it's a revolving door. But in any case, you guys were sort of wondering about how this could happen. Dr. Mark Stone and DJ3 had a lot of tension between them. Dr. Mark Stone at one point said, just because you can't think past hockey and gambling doesn't mean there aren't other things going on.
Totally.
The students then started wondering if they could unsummon characters, if you could remove characters, prompting DJ3 to say, bring on the brick, and prompting Frankie...
How dare...
Prompting Frankie to slap him, is what I sort of said, to sort of hit his arm.
You approved that too.
Yeah.
Brick's gone.
And he said, you approved the casino. You approved that of the brick. You approved promoting Harley to all time. That being said, the students decided that though this was also a mythic character they had gotten because of the holiday book fair going on, they did in fact summon Santa Claus. So Santa Claus is there. Santa Claus is packing a candy cane.
Oh my god.
Kind of weird, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I thought I was about to see his butt.
No, you weren't, but it has a candy cane in the back, like I'll peppermint someone if they come up to me. In any case, Santa Claus was very kind. It also was revealed that Santa Claus is a master mage, like gods, and seems to perhaps be a more modern form of a master mage, someone who does exist on multiple planes in multiple realities. Kind of is a multiversal entity. And this Santa at least had some awareness of the others, but also was like, well, okay, clearly I'm a character of it. So I'm a character of the version of me from Top Flight, where Santa Claus does canonically exist, because they've messed with Christmas elves before. In any event, after some shenanigans about how Santa Claus was like, boy, a lot of people on the naughty list here between all these super villains and Dark Lords, but you know what evens the whole thing out is this incredibly nice guy, Elbrand. So he balances all the bad. After a lot of shtick with that, and Santa giving Nova some leftover milk and cookies, Armament decided that summoning Maisey may be something that is a bad idea, maybe something that we need to think about. Summoning the Fleecing Schemester is not a danger. So the Fleecing Schemester was then summoned. Oh no, well first you guys had to go to their Privat Garden because you had to do the last thing. They did a mission where they drank and tasted a bunch of beer. Nova...
Did they succeed?
At drinking the beer?
At the mission? Yeah.
They did, thanks to Nova bringing in just tons of ghosts and liches and skeletons, and DJ3 bringing in a bunch of gargoyles. So basically they changed their environment to be one that was friendly to them. They rewrote reality so it would be like a kind place for them rather than a super hostile thing, which lowered the difficulty of all of this. They managed to do it. They then summoned, after getting the frosty beer, they summoned the Fleecing Schemester. He's got his cigar.
Is he like holding a cigar?
He's got a cigar in one hand and his beer in the other. He's a little just goblin dude. And he showed up. Nova did not like his vibe.
He sucked.
And she wouldn't even share any of cookies with him. I kind of
He
left
could get
it.
his own cookies.
Well, you're already holding some, baby. Why don't you just, want to share with me a little bit? It would be easier. Well, okay. Well, she's making her position pretty clear. What about you, Legs?
I don't have cookies.
Okay. Well, what do you got? I'm hungry. Got any snacks?
No cookies.
You seem a little flabbergasted.
No one's ever called me Legs before. I mean, I have legs, and I appreciate you saying that. And I'll think about how I feel about it. But I don't have any food.
So she's saying I'm in with a chance. We don't know what Callie said about the fleecing schemester.
Although I imagine Frankie at least knew what
you
he
definitely
was
would have. Yes, you would have read about the fleecing schemester in previous comics because that's his vibe. The fleecing schemester, just for context, was an attempt made. He appeared. This is at least the origin story that is sort of in there, but there may be deeper things that people, because he's one of these arcane abominations, and you've now summoned others and know about others, or you haven't summoned any others. Actually, I take that back. But you know of others. But he's an arcane abomination because back when he was being Captain Eldritch, Dustin Howell attempted to create a familiar that would be the most powerful familiar, just handle everything for him and be sort of rig the system sort of situation. That backfired. He created this arcane abomination who was kind of like a magical sink. So if you attack the fleecing schemester with magic, it doesn't do anything. But the fleecing schemester can also divert Dustin Howell's magic at times. He's kind of this problem, and he actually is the reason that Maisey was created in the first place. Because
Do I know that?
you know all of this, yes. Also, just for there's this Maisey's right over my shoulder here, in case people haven't seen that Sophia made a Maisey. Yeah, see, Maisey. Okay, so with all of that, then Armament did sort of tell him about some of the other things that had happened, and the fleecing schemester had to admit that he doesn't like Synth Devil, but it's pretty funny that Dustin Howell is trapped in the astral plane. That's pretty funny. He's pretty into that. That's a pretty good joke.
So is Wildorado here anymore?
The ghost of Wildorado is still here, and you guys could sort of speak to him if you wanted to. I think last time you guys said, let's not talk to him in case he is the other one. Let's not tip our hand. But he's kind of floating, mainly just back and forth like this. Just some real articulation going on. Just real high budget. Okay. But he's there. I just knocked over the other ghost. Damn. So that's kind of the energy of what's going on. A couple of weeks have now passed. You have a few characters with pages that you're ready to summon. So I think we'll go ahead and say that we'll jump into the group gathering. I'm going to say that Callie is present, as has been sort of the case. Just so Callie's here, but just won't be sort of saying anything. So you all have gathered at Hampstead Hall on another Wednesday night. A couple weeks ago it was weird. You needed to show up on a Thursday. That was strange. But now it's back to usual. You're here on a Wednesday. Harley is here. The professor is Professor Davies still in Scotland. Professor Davies is still in Scotland, guys. Man, the gears of justice in the UK.
He ain't coming back.
That inquest.
Turn aft astray. Okay, so that inquest though. Okay, so yes, so you guys are once again, Harley is here, sort of awaiting you, ready to, sort of help guide you through all of this stuff, but really just take notes and just kind of, offer some psychological analysis if you ever wanted, or a sociological perspective, that kind of thing. But she kind of, will greet you all and say, well, okay, so hi everyone. It looks like there actually are, even though you were mainly just reading, it looks like that created more of these pages. There were bonus pages from this. I know that I'm not usually, Mo kind of handles this stuff, but he just said that you got a bunch of bonuses. I didn't realize you would sometimes get bonus pages, and that's so cool. So we do have some stuff if we want to go down and summon some creatures. But I know that we kind of had put a pin in something recently, but I was kind of curious what your goal was going to be here. Because you now have everything you need to summon this character, Maisey, aside from completing one last mission. Something called the Rite of the Pearl, which sounds presumably like it's like super scary and intense. So are you guys...
Let's do it.
Okay, well, before I was just wondering, for all of you, mainly Dr. Mark Stone, what is, where's your head at about summoning Maisey? Is this a thing you think you're gonna do, or?
I don't know. The thing with, how much do we know? This is kind of like generally like asking everyone, but also then like me asking you, Philip, like, how much do we know about like how much Maisey has impacted the Blood from a Stone setting?
All right, you strongly suspect, based on, I will say no roll required, based on what you have heard from the others, you know, in the context of this, I feel that there's no way that Callie has not Nova being so focused on it and Callie being so sort of analytically minded, and the fact that that Maisey shows up in it a lot. What is unique about Blood from a Stone, however, is that at some point you stopped getting stories from there. You could no longer do like the stories seem to end with this breaking of the mist, and though Maisey had shown up before that point, and it seemed like Maisey's kind of little porcelain hands were sort of on the breaking of the mist to some extent. Whether or not you guys understood who was talking to Alf and Theodore when that was going on, you definitely know that Maisey is... I think that Mark Stone, given what you know about what you guys did with Maisey, and the fact that you put Maisey into a demiplane, you are pretty darn confident that Maisey created the Blood from a Stone universe in that demiplane and sucked the Fleecing Schemester into it as well.
Well, because the way I see it is that Maisey is... The reason that I'm like not happy about the final being brought back to Top Flight is because we had dealt with the final. The final wasn't there, and it's a new thing being introduced. Whereas Maisey is there in Blood from a Stone. So no one has gone and taken. No one sealed Maisey away in Blood from a Stone. Maisey exists there. So if Maisey can't do anything here, and we know that Maisey's just doing whatever Maisey wants in Blood from a Stone, then I don't think it doesn't seem to me that there'd be any added power, because the whole reason that this final thing backfired is because while Dorado came and brought the final back to Top Flight, here Maisey's already there.
Makes sense, and certainly there is some complications because it is the Maisey of that world instead of the Maisey of Top Flight.
If it were the Maisey of Top Flight, I would be a lot more hesitant.
Understood. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, so if you sort of explain that to sort of Harley, she'll say, I mean, you guys are the experts. Okay, so you see, it seems like it's a different context. It's a different situation. So you think you're going to press on with summoning Maisey?
I think it's a group decision, but I'm not actively putting my foot down against it.
Understood.
We did all the work. Just one last box to check. Frank, you can't leave anything undone, right?
From what Frankie knows from reading these, is armament, use a lot of sound reasoning?
So, armament uses a lot of sound reasoning. Now, is Dan using sound reasoning, or does Dan just really want to summon Maisey? Separate conversation. Armament, however, does use sound reasoning. And if you would like to analyze the comic book world and stuff as this of your own knowledge, I would allow you to make a roll for that. Which for you it would be an analyze, but I would let you add your comic book so you'd get 4 dice on it.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Cool, so just roll 4 of the d8s. I'm sorry that that's getting so full.
6s?
You have 2 6s. I will say that with 2 6s, the only wrinkle that you could throw into Dan's dreams is that there has been new Maisey-based activity in Top Flight. In the Formation Nation finale, 13 copies of V who were obsessed with Maisey escaped with a newly built Maisey doll.
Great issue.
It was an iconic issue. That was the double issue where Steel Trap had the mental duel with the Mind Lord. It was really cool. Yeah, it was a great comic.
Yeah, there were a couple like incredible like full spread pages on there that were just like, the art was so dynamic.
It was such, guys. The art was, well, I mean, it's when you have artists like, then the artwork that you get out of it is just incredible.
Yeah.
Do I have to come up with a bunch of fictional artists for all the books? Do I have to come up with a fictional artist and writer and inker? The colorist, I can make up fewer fictional colorists and letterers. I get to come up with fictional editors. Who's
Lin
edited
G.
the Top Flight groups? Oh my god.
Is there? I mean, what's the publication company like that has been publishing the Top Flight comics?
Well, that's actually a thing. But we won't get into. Well, we could get into that.
We just straight up haven't asked that question for like a year and a half or whatever.
Correct. That is literally correct. If in game anyone chooses to ask that is the thing that can happen, but we haven't done so yet. But yes, so that would be kind of your.
I would just like to express that to the group.
Okay. So Frankie brings up what happened in that iconic issue. I also, we'll do that, and you can bring up another comic later in a moment if you want to, because another comic book has come out since you guys were last here. Top Flight Tales issue 1, featuring Meridian Salvation Part 1. But we can talk about that later. So yeah. So Frankie kind of tells you everything we just said about the idea that there is more Maisey stuff just going on even in Top Flight.
So I'm looking through the sheet now, but have we summoned anyone who had we haven't summoned anyone who has footprints in multiple settings and have gotten both of those settings, right?
You have not, however.
I mean, obviously we have the Fleecing Schemester.
Fleecing Schemester, who does remember both Top Flight and Blood from a Stone stuff.
But I would assume so, because the Fleecing Schemester, even though it's the Blood from a Stone tag, came from.
He was there first, yeah. And to be honest, there may be some sloppiness or incompleteness on my part. And I did actually do a whole thing of this in our downtime stuff. I think I actually did settings wrong. I should have been doing universes, because there are certain things that are from the same setting as other things. Like Blue Moon and Here Be Dragons should have been the same setting tag. And there are other things out there where it's actually this isn't the same thing as this. For example, we have now learned that Murder by Murder and Strange Lore exist in the same universe. Big reveal on Strange Lore. I'm not sure, people here might not have known that, but yeah. Some characters from Murder by Murder 15 years later have now shown up in the Strange Lore, having moved to New York City. So, Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Wednesday showed up in Strange Lore, sorry. Now in her early 30s, still sort of a kitchen maid. But not this one, the actual human version, not the heightened character.
Didn't she also show up in Blood from a Stone?
Oh yeah, she showed up in Blood from a Stone as a different iteration of a different evil version of the character. So she is in 4 games. She's in 4 unique settings. Yeah,
she's iconic. She's just that girl.
She is.
Can't get rid of her.
On the cover of every magazine, you really can't get rid of her.
Her and the Reverend Gary Tarmac.
I wish the Reverend Gary Tarmac had that. I'm sorry to say that you do not have the Reverend Gary Tarmac here. I'm so sorry. The Reverend Gary Tarmac is not one of the characters who was brought. He's just a little too high cost for what the inspiration is. But you might have someone who maybe isn't related to him, but who is also from the Adverse.
Ah.
Yeah. In any case, yes, Frankie can sort of explain that element of it, and Armament, you can recognize that, yes, the fleecing schemester has existed in both universes.
Right, but because obviously, I mean, like, obviously Maisey technically has existed in both. But as like the final could be brought to, and while the Rada go back and forth because they are from that universe. I'm still, I guess I'm unclear of whether or not this is not Dan. This is like Armament unclear of whether or not the Maisey would, because Maisey is the blood from a stone Maisey. Like there is some sort of like metaphysical anchor to the blood from a stone universe.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to allow Callie to provide anyone who'd like to make an analyze roll on that point. Callie will give you 2 bonuses, given her
I would love to
ludicrously high thing on that.
Should we roll luck as well?
Oh, yes, everyone please roll 4, and that'll set your luck for the eve.
Nope.
No luck? Okay, now roll your other.
No luck. Yes, dice.
Frankie, you have 4 luck for the night. No luck, but yes on the...
Yes, dice. Like in that I have dice. You know, they say no dice, you know.
No dice, yes dice. I get you. You know what?
I get but it. Nothing on the nothing on the analyze roll.
I get it and I love it. Okay, let's see here. You're just not sure. I will say that without a roll, you do understand that those 2 universes seem more closely connected than others, despite there being one of them created the other.
One begat the other, yeah.
One begat the other rather directly. Rather.
Yeah. Rather.
I'll also pose for a moment, just that I'll kind of catch people up. There's less sort of major stuff happened, but Frankie, just so you're aware, you would have probably told everybody about Top Flight Tales number 1 presenting Meridian Salvation issue number 1, in which Meridian, the greatest superhero, it has been disclosed to her about the whole Temple Flight alternate reality, and learning that her arch nemesis, the woman who should have been her arch nemesis, Tatiana Temple, is stuck in an astral plane. She tried to talk to Top Flight, they said no, so instead she's gone and grabbed some Fiat agents and said, I've prayed on this. I can't leave her in a place like that. This woman who was supposed to be so tied to my life, even though she's my enemy, we have to go to the astral plane and rescue her. So that's what Meridian...
This is why we didn't tell her.
Armament. That's good, Ed. Yep. Yeah, Armament probably is like, oh boy, I wish I could warn my friends that this is happening. Oh dear. Yeah. That is kind of the sort of catching up on these matters, and it is I will say that Armament, regardless, it is definitely ambiguous. You are not sure about, differences of settings and if it's a different thing. You just know that Maisey, like the final, is mythic level, and like the final is considered deific. So there is clearly some degree of extra potency there.
I mean, we already brought in the Stone Man, who's mythic, and he seems fine.
Yeah, and as far as we know, that it hasn't affected blood from a stone.
Meanwhile, wait, KJ's not here. Over in the side, the Stone Man's like, oh man, it's so good seeing so many beautiful lovers in this place. I just wish that I could feel something other than my own stony skin.
Aaron, what's it like getting that experience in person?
Oh, it's way less bad than I thought it would be.
Last night I had a dream that I was staring at a flower. I think it was a lily, but I never paid attention in flower class. The most beautiful flower I've ever seen, and it kept blooming and blooming and blooming. And all the time I just kept thinking, burn, burn, burn.
Did you burn it?
before I had a chance to decide, I heard the howl of a motorbike roaring like something underground, and it tore up through the street, and it broke apart the flower. And the flower was burning, and everything was burning. And somebody blew up the YWCA like a giant balloon, and it floated off to sea, full of screaming, lonely, lovely girls.
Yeah, I should hate it, but I just kind of dislike it.
You kind of dislike it, or you kind of just like it? Dis, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was right.
Guys, I only dislike this.
I mean, and also, do we not know? Do we have no evidence to either way because we're getting those stories from Blood from a Snowman's Orphan? Yes. Do I care? No.
They're all just stories. We've been working on this for a year and a half.
Why?
I don't know. I thought you had the answer. I was just following everyone else.
I just wanted to collect all the characters.
Well, and speaking of collecting the characters, Nova, we do have a few characters here now. I don't really understand the context of these. So the characters who you currently have ready to summon are, you have someone called Georgie Strevoletti. I don't know who he is. You have someone named Elias the Doorman. You have someone named Lozos. And you have someone named Richer Man. So, if you'd like to summon these characters, they're here for you now. Oh, and you can summon oh, this is a big thick stack too. You can summon Bitter End. It's another location. It's another, apparently, I think it's, from what I can read, it looks like it's another creepy manor house because you don't have enough of those. She'll gesture to the Haunted District, which is what I believe where KJ put the multiple haunted houses you have here.
My favorite place.
So, would you guys like to summon any and or all of those? I will say that you can summon, you have inspiration to summon all of these things and Maisey if you wind up unlocking her today.
Well, let's smash that, hit that summon button for everything else.
The first thing you'll summon is, of course, Bitter End, and where it is going wherever Callie puts it. You guys might have opinions on where Bitter End should go, but Bitter End is this beautiful, large, sort of gothic manor. It is actually bigger than Course Court, which was for a while the only, house you had. Now Course Court's over there. It's even larger than Course Court, but it's like rounded by mist, and it's kind of much more foreboding and wicked looking of a place. It is also, behind it, there is a large pool in the back. This is called Bitter Pool, and apparently it's a place where many people have drowned in disturbing circumstances. There is a west wing, or the northwest wing. What was the wing of it? I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
There's a specific wing of that place that is, well, whatever. Anyway, the point is, it's a very, that's the one that was locked. That's where, but as soon as that appears, actually, Lorelei Lush will be like, and she'll just kind of float right to it, because that was the place where she both drowned and haunted. So there you go. In addition, you can next, who do you want first, or should I just open them in whatever order?
Whatever.
Okay, we'll go in okay, so first off, some of these one of these I'm disappointed with because I didn't have any purple Lego people, so sorry, but you see before you a very snooty looking Richer Man. This is someone who looks like he only wants the finer things in life. Someone who looks like he would, looks like someone who would be in a Rolls Royce, and if you were to roll down the window.
Oh yes.
And you asked him for something that wasn't fancy enough, he would sick Beefeater guards on you to take all of your money. He looks at you all and says, "Oh, Oh God, now I can't. I should have. Oh my God, I should have remembered when you guys did the ad reads who was the richer man and how you did the voice. Because I know Dan. I can't.
Excuse me. Do you have any pesh alongi?
Yeah, well, one time you did it in French. You did a French accent for one of them. We'll just say that he's a stereotypical richer man. What's the meaning of this? This place doesn't look exclusive enough for me. Look at you all wearing your dungarees and your unadorned. None of you even have cravats. Does anyone have any pechalongi? Pechalongi?
Say what now?
Pechalongi. Peaches stewed in eels, of course. The finest culinary tradition.
Can you spell that?
Well, I could if I were a school mom.
Are you?
No, but I will to demonstrate my upbringing. It starts with the letter P. The next is an E that has... What is the diacritic mark where there's a little triangle over the little arrow over the top? I don't remember. What it's called. P-E-C-H-E, but the E...
Oh, the E with a hat.
Not with a hat. First of all, it would be a chapeau if you're speaking French.
Yeah.
And then L apostrophe Anguille. Perhaps that's right. But I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to enjoy the finer things. Oh, look, some charming manor houses. I assume
I think
that's
it's the circumflex accent.
Oh, yes. You need a circumflex over the E. But otherwise, not terrible. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go to those manor houses. Clearly, that's where I belong. Guards? Guards? Where are the guards? Oh, dear. Wednesday will intercept him. And oh, finally, someone dressed in servant's livery who understands how to speak. Cool. Next up. Look, it's Elias the doorman. Hey, yeah, welcome to the building. Hey, none of you even know who I am because I'm from a game none of you have played in. I'm just a guy who worked on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in 1947. Hey, no worries. Oh, okay. However, interesting thing happens. When he sees Wednesday, he'll say, "Oh, you look familiar. You look like the younger version of the new maid for the lady who just moved in." Weird. I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but this way, sir. And she'll also lead him over for orientation. That's because Elias has met Wednesday. He's the doorman in the building.
She's younger here?
She's younger here, yes. This is her in 1932. That's her in 1947. So, very, very exciting. You've met Elias. And if you loved meeting one character from a game you're not in, get ready to do it again. Ha-ha! Lozos, the swashbuckler. Okay, now guys, I understand that Lozos is supposed to be a purple elf with silver spots, but I just didn't have that in Lego. So instead, I just kind of gave him the most kind of that sort of mustache I could. And his sword is purple inside of sort of see-through, so he's kind of fantasy. And I don't know, throwing a Robin Hood hat because I had him and nobody had one yet. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Lozos, after saying some shtick that will mean nothing to any of you, about, "Ha, friend, well, let us go on adventures. Oh, Elbrand's like, I'll introduce this guy. He seems upbeat. Come here." And then Lozos will eventually say something sexist, and then Elbrand will be like, "Oh, well, let's talk about the toxic masculinity you're carrying around with you, buddy." And he'll sort of move him on to do that. All right.
I hate that so much.
For the last one, we have Georgie Strevoletti. You guys want to do it? Georgie Strevoletti is a dog that appeared on screen in a one shot that Lauren and Zane did, where they were Kenny and Betty Strevoletti, and they said, "Here's our dog Georgie," and they held up their real dog, and it appeared on screen, and everybody in the game was like, "Let's summon that dog." And I'm gonna read to you. I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna read to you the dog's ability. It's the dog you're spending 200 precious inspiration on. Here's the dog's ability. This is just a dog. He didn't do anything. He was just there. There's not really any point to having this dog in your set, but if you want to spend a slot on him, go ahead, I guess.
Well, maybe I want a dog.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a cat?
Aw.
It looks like a cat.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
It is a cat.
I don't care. I'll try that again. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the dog I had. This is not the kind of dog
Aw.
that Georgie was, but this is the dog we have, so there you go. So, a dog appears.
Armin's very happy to pet the dog.
A line of characters
Very cute.
forms to pet this dog.
Exactly.
You don't like him?
Well, he just looks sadder than I thought.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
Well, he probably...
Probably because of something that Brick did.
He would never.
All right, so there you go. So there you go. You got them. There you go. Some animals. Such a good boy. Galamaran Saber just said in chat. He's neither.
Aw,
He's neither
good boy.
nor bad. He's literally amoral. So, in any case, now there's a dog. The dog's just kind of there, but a lot of characters come over to see the dog. The Justorian military intelligence agent will say, finally. Nothing better than man's best friend. Or elf's best friend. I forgot. I'm an elf. Good to see you, dog. Yeah, you hate communism, don't you? That's right. You're not a socialist, are you, little guy? So, with that all out of the way, there are a few different paths forward for you. You could either set up a casino system to fritter away what remains of your inspiration.
Or earn more.
Or earn more.
Big returns.
The gambler's over there like,
The gambler said so.
Gambler's like, I just
Yeah.
really would never, like, I'm not going to gamble with you anymore, Mac. You've wiped me out. Her cufflinks are so expensive looking, and she's flipping a dream coin. So, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I got nothing left. I really don't think I could gamble with you again. You're just too good. So she's doing that. And in the meantime, that remains, but there is also something called the Right of the Pearl. You now have the 7 Dreadlords required. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you have the 7 Dreadlords required to attempt what is called the Right of the Pearl.
Do we know what that entails?
You probably have looked into it slightly. It would be part of the research for Maisey. You do understand that it is it is going to be like an attraction that you would you could sort of start it at any Blood from a Stone location. It's kind of like a secret attraction. So you could go to the brand new Bitter End if you wanted to do it there. Or you could...
Wasn't it that Pirates movie?
Very close. That's Curse of the Black Pearl. This is the Right of the Pearl. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. Are you guys going to prefer the Right of the Pearl? Do you want to just go on a different attraction somewhere? Do you just want to go get a bunch of snacks? Or do you want to set up a casino and watch DJ3 just get rid of everything you have?
Win everything.
You want to watch me win everything, huh? Okay.
Well, we can all play. That's why it's a casino. Everyone's a winner. That's how they work, right?
Has DJ3 gambled in like session
Yeah.
before?
He gambled he has gambled in session, but with the gambler you gambled as downtime one time.
And I won.
And he won. And the gambler's response was, "Oh my gosh, you're too good. I can't play with you again. No, we can't go double or nothing. Absolutely not."
And then I said quadruple or nothing.
The gambler was like, I couldn't possibly. No. You're. It's too rich for my blood. You're just too good at this," said the gambler.
See, guys, it's easy money.
You currently have left. I'm updating this in real time, actually, on the sheet. You have 2,432 inspiration remaining after expending everybody you just summoned.
So there are those options, and then is Maisey on the table for tonight, or
Maisey is on the table for tonight if you choose to do the
Yep.
Rite of the Pearl.
If we do the Rite of the Pearl.
Yes, Maisey is you have all the pieces you need to get Maisey, but you have to complete something called the Rite of the Pearl to summon her.
Fun.
Let's do it. Or gamble. Or play hockey.
It's really good being DJ3. There's always a good option.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, gambling.
All right.
Mark, what do you, Mark Stone, Mr. Mark Stone, what do you think?
Look, I think that gambling is
Go on.
one of the less constructive things that we can do right now.
Time is over. Back to you, Frankie. The gentleman
Look,
has seen his time.
I've heard all of you express varying degrees of interest in summoning Maisey, so if that's what you decide to do, then I guess we're doing that.
Hold Maisey. Give her a hug.
We do have the doll somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
You just have the object.
Let's
What-
bring this doll to life.
What is Callie saying?
I will actually
Casino.
speak for Callie on this matter just because I feel that I can. And I believe that Callie is a no vote on summoning Maisey. Callie will of course go with the group. Callie also doesn't want to rock the boat, but like if there is a vote, Callie is voting no. On
A
summoning
yes
Maisey.
vote on Casino, though.
Callie is not a yes vote on Casino. In fact,
No.
I would make the argument that Callie might be a stronger no vote on Casino than Maisey. I think that KJ is probably an equally strong no vote on both, but I think that Callie is a stronger no vote on the Casino. That is my read of the characters.
You know, sometimes you're wrong, Philip.
And I think, you know what, we'll say that what Callie's doing right now is just like moving all the buildings by just like one square on the grid, you know? Like there's a massive grid here, and it's like, okay, so this building is 20 by 16, so let me go. Oh, hold on, let me move some of the bushes. Callie's just doing some of that real, like, you know, like theme park simulator.
Oh, you had a new location.
Yeah, adding a new location. She's just bleep, bleep, oh, that's on top of something. Okay, yeah, that kind of vibe.
Look, out of character, obviously I want to summon Maisey.
I will say, Dan, I believe that you have given enough, like, side. I think you've done enough to make it make sense that Armament might allow this to go forward, given that it's something they've all been working on. But the question is, it seems that DJ3 is down for Maisey. Nova, it seems, is down for Maisey, because who wouldn't want a cute little haunted doll, especially one so sweet. Her eyes glow in the dark. So
She's the sweetest.
Frankie.
For research purposes, I think I would like to wait till after Dr. Stone votes.
So
He
Dan,
said Casino.
on the matter of Maisey, if it is 5 people voting, you have 2 for, 1 against in the form of Callie. What would Armament's actual vote be?
Wait.
Yeah, because you're going to be the tiebreaker then.
I absolutely changed my mind. I would like to say before, I'm so sorry, Dr. Stone, and I will never interrupt you again, but I would like to vote with Callie.
So Dan.
You can talk it over with your pal Elbord if it will help.
And meanwhile, your girl Harley is like, oh my god, so I think that's avoidant is what she's just not saying this. But okay, so Frankie is definitely avoidant. But now it comes to armament, to Dr. Mark Stone. And what we are really grappling with here, what you see on display, is the ultimate torment that Philip puts on his players. Because this is really all I wanted, was to put Dan in a position where he is a character who he knows would never say, let's get Maisey, while what Dan has wanted this whole goddamn game, and has even said both publicly and privately, if we do not summon Maisey, I'm quitting the channel. And I am wanting to put that onto him in a circumstance in which he is now having to decide, as a character, as player, what he will do. Because this is more interesting to me than simply, going through a dungeon.
What does it take to start this?
To start
Well,
the
it's like
Rite
going
of the
into
Pearl?
the ride, right?
Yeah,
Yes, you would now that you have all of those, Dark Lords, you would go bring them with you to one of the Blood from Stone locations, and a sort of door with a pearl on it would sort of like appear. You'd find some like secret entrance. You'd go into that at any of the locations.
Well, Frankie and Callie, let's know, why are you voting no on this? If this is something that the group has been working towards, I just want to understand your logic.
The fact that Callie is voting in abstention no is complicated because she is not here to extrapolate.
I know, so that's why primarily that question is for Frankie.
Well, with the professor not being here again, I'm really not quite sure where this will land my grade. I don't care about summoning anyone, but if it would help my A, then yes. If not, then no. As it is a no vote just also like a not now?
Harley, do you have any input on the overall grades for the students?
She is in charge.
I actually do, yes, and I just want you to all know that I would love for you to just not worry about the grades. What I'd love for you all to do is worry about this process, because you are doing something so interesting and unique, and the grades. Like, what are grades? What is a GPA? It's just a number, right?
That's what I've been saying. See?
She clearly doesn't know.
No, I do have. I will be. I've been giving you marks.
You've been grading us?
Yes, because the professor's been gone, and I'm the TA.
But like, still giving us an A, because that's what he said he was doing if we did all this stuff.
I understand.
So then getting an A means then just progressing and summoning more characters gets you better grades?
Not anymore. The professor was very clear that the professor actually wanted you to stop summoning anything, given what happened in Scotland over the summer when a child died. I guess he was legally an adult when a very young man died.
A small child boy?
Small boy, young sir boy.
Boy, sir.
But in answer to your question, your grade will not be affected by what choice you make here. All that matters is that you're participating and that you're all a part of it. And I'm impressed with the reasoning I've seen from all of you.
You're welcome. Again, need that A though to boost that grade, the GPA.
What are your other grades currently?
Don't worry about that. I have an A triple plus in hockey.
God, I really want.
Guys, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Nova, what an excellent point. Check mark star.
I like to think that like now Frankie is contemplating whether or not there actually is an A triple plus.
I really want Harley to be like, oh, and Dr. Mark Stone, here's actually, I know you're in the class, but I have given you a grade. She just like give him like her like Instagram on a slip of paper so I can DM her. But she
Does Frankie see that?
No, she doesn't do that. I'm saying that would be funny, but she's not doing that.
She thought about it.
She's thought about it.
Besides, Armin's not on social media.
Yeah, and Frankie wouldn't care.
He took me flying last night. It was amazing.
I swear to God.
All right, so what's it gonna be, man? Are we doing this? I'm gonna go find that dog.
You go get in line. Longest attraction right now is to pet that dog.
Yeah, we have our VIP pass.
That's... Move, characters! A person coming through.
Maybe I'll go pet the dog with the 13 dreadlords. I don't know, or the 7 dreadlords we have over by that new location we just got.
I'm sorry for what I said, Sophia. Sophia's really mad about what I said about
Thank you. Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah, very uncalled for, Philip.
Yeah. I'm a real twerp, all right.
Oh my God.
And if one of us were to start it, would the rest of us be brought in?
You are not
Hypothetically.
sure. You are not sure about the nature of this one. You're not sure how this will work. You don't know what kind of thing this is. I think that out of game I have told you that it was going to be a big combat thing. I actually might have altered that. In fact.
Okay, here's what my thinking is that if we don't all agree to do it together, Doug will probably sneak off and do it on his own. And so it's more important that we do it together.
As I was walking away.
As Doug grabs the Maisey pages and starts heading to Bitter End. Well, actually, Doug, if you're walking off, are you going to go to Bitter End, the Bad Dragon, the Beach Read, or to Privatgarten?
I'll go to the new one.
Bitter End, great.
Nova, you want to come and walk over here with me and these 7 dreadlords?
You see, Frankie, he's going to do it regardless.
And the dog?
I really thought you were going to say, if we can't all agree to do it together, then we shall not do it.
Well, there's safety in numbers.
This feels... I mean, I'll follow you.
Is that Aaron or is that Frankie saying that?
I mean...
That's Aaron.
It's Aaron.
So, if you guys head to Bitter End, clearly there are just a few like minor characters or dreamlings kind of over there like preparing it. Like it just arrived, they haven't done it. But if you sort of walk up to it, DJ3, you will notice that the Maisey one of the Maisey pages like starts to shift on the page, and you can sort of see like a little drawing of a pearl forming. And it sort of starts to move on the page, like through letters, displacing them like a ripple through water, and it's kind of guiding you not to the main entrance, but over to the side of the house, and you see there is a door hidden in the shadows with a sort of stone archway over it, and it's almost like it's forming before your eyes, and there's a pearl. Well, it looks like a pearl. It's kind of just, like a blank, slightly raised circle in the stone.
Well, that's new.
The Phantom Horse.
Well, the whole building's new, so.
The Phantom Horse kind of just sees that, and in fact, the various dreadlords there together sort of doing something and fleecing schemesters looking at him going, "What the hell? Oh, right. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm not a member of their Alliance of the Pearl or anything, you guys. Hey, legs. But you got any candy yet?
No, never.
You don't eat candy?
No, I don't eat candy.
Why not?
You're
so sweet yourself, huh?
No.
You want a cigarette or a cigar?
Thank you.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, you want some beer?
I would not currently like anything, though. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, you're the one who wouldn't let go of this last time. Look, it's pouring forever. Yeah. You're not going to give this back if I hand it over to you, are you?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't trust you. That's what I like about you. All right, so see the 6 of them acting all weird? That's because they are part of something called the Alliance of the Pearl. At least that's what I've picked up watching my stories. It seems to me that these 7, or these 6, well, whoever I used to be, I think might have been on their side, or I don't know what the deal was. Point is, they had some alliance, wanted everything on one side. Last thing I remember, somebody tore up their whole alliance, broke all the mists, ruined the order. Next thing I know, I'm here. So the 6 of them are, allied with each other, want to keep the Pearl going, whatever the hell the Pearl is.
Is that the doll?
My guess is it's something related to the doll. That's correct.
Well, let's do it.
So, in no particular order, you walk through, but this time, the characters do not seem to be going into your heads, or at least not all of them. And I know this might mean a lot of spreadsheeting, and actually I think we're going to defer spreadsheeting to if we need it. Because basically, first, Basing Smoke, the dragon, enters, despite being huge. Next, Longivus Mons, despite being small but should be much bigger, enters. Followed by
The best boy. The best boy.
Mr. Forks and Doffer. Oh, work, money. Cartoon enters. Followed by Let Queen Visibita rest. 4. Followed by Oh man, I never get invited to parties. Not anymore.
Hey,
but even if I'm invited,
brain.
doesn't mean I can't still crash him. And he goes in. It's supposed to be in your brain. Sorry. For the right of the Pearl, these dreadlords are all they are taking part of their own volition. Following him. The Phantom Horse. And then. Huh. I guess I gotta be a part of this too. Well, damn. Alright. See you
No
guys in
beverages allowed in there.
there? You know what? I respect that, but I don't care. He goes. Respect the attempt, but no thanks. So, you guys are now standing there. I will say that you can bring other characters into your minds, but we're not going to spreadsheet them at this moment. But if we need to, we will pause to. It's just that it's 8:52, and I'm just worried. Because I believe every single one of you has probably lost at least one character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who did you lose, Dan?
Forks and Doffer and Basing Smoke.
Damn. Actually, wait, you might not have. Look at full villains real quick.
I don't think she did.
No, you had Phantom Horse on yours. We have to change that anyway because Nova's got all the ghosts now.
I have Phantom Horse.
Yeah, you have Phantom. Well, now you don't, but you still have Wildorado and stuff. So the point is, you guys enter this chamber, and where you find yourselves after a few moments is standing in a room. A room, Dr. Markstone, that is actually oddly familiar to you, albeit from a very different house. This room has blue walls with white clouds painted on them. And in this room are several dolls. Lots of little dolls of kind of varying sizes. You notice there is also a little lamb doll that is kind of in a position of prominence.
Lamb chop?
It is not Lamb Chop. This doll's name is actually Agnes.
Mm.
But for readers of Blood from a Stone, it might ring a bell that this doll was here in Bitter End. This is actually a room that you remember from Bitter End, those of you who read this. I would say that Nova probably recognizes this the most from the sort of Merkshire sort of arc, the Merkshire chapters. But in this room, I'll tell you what, everybody make a look roll, and I'm just gonna say for this, because it's kind of like it's not supposed to be a whatever thing, if you think you'd have extra bonuses for characters, you can throw a couple bonuses on. Like, it's, roll at least 4 dice. When in doubt, pump yourself up a bit for a look. You have 4 anyway. Give yourself 5.
3 5s.
3 5s. Nice.
Oh, what happens? Thank you.
You got 2 6s, 3 5s.
2 1s, 2 8s.
2 1s, 2 8s. Okay, so I will say that Frankie...
Unless if we keep our lore die bonus.
Where did you get the lore die from? For vitality.
Probably from one of the 97 performers that I have in my brain.
If it's not from the
Oh, it's from Santa.
If it's from Santa. Oh yeah, because he sees you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake. So yeah, with that, you in your mind you hear, ho ho, what do you have, Nova?
I rolled 4 7s.
You rolled
This
4
is
7s?
insane.
Nova.
I'm not joking.
Nova. And 7s. Wait, is 7 in addition to everything else a really good one for this? Ooh, patterns and cosmos. 4 8s would have been obscene, but 4 7s is actually good because it stars patterns and stuff. Okay, so while DJ3 and Frankie, and actually DJ3, you also, because you're going to change one of those, I assume, you'll go to 3 8. So you and Dr. Mark Stone, Frankie, you're noticing lots of interesting dolls, and like, ooh, there's some dolls in here that are like, this room's creepy. Dr. Mark Stone and DJ3, and you even notice a few dolls with red hair or dolls with purple dresses, but you're not seeing one that sort of seems to be both. Dr. Mark Stone and DJ3, the two of you home in on a doll that you are sure is Maisey. DJ3 by reputation, Dr. Mark Stone because you've seen her before. Nova, you too find Maisey, but you find her a little bit before the others. And with your sharp, ghost-hungry eyes, as you look at this cute little doll, though she seems to be totally still, you see her porcelain head twist ever so much towards you, and on her painted, sculpted face, it looks like she smiles at you. But I will say that Dr. Mark Stone, so as you guys take this all in, as Nova sort of has a connection, your eyes go into Maisey, but Dr. Mark Stone, aka Armament, the reason this room is familiar to you is this is the same decor as in the room that you emerged in this reality into. It's not the same room, but it looks like a room that was like clearly similar design sensibilities. One must be referencing the other, or both are referencing some third thing.
Yep.
So, you see that there is a doll there. The room seems very crowded, and yet it's almost like there's some kind of eerie, not quite phantasmagoric. Something is strange because there is a dragon in this room behind you, and a horse, and a mountain. All of these dark lords are all here gathered, and they seem to be looking at the same place that Frankie, you follow everyone else's eyes, and you two finally see the Maisey doll.
I'd like to grab for Callie's hand. Do you think she would let me hold it?
Did Callie come? Yes, I think you can grab Callie's hand. I will say that Callie came in, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good, yeah. So the Dark Lords are in here. They're sort of looking. The Fleecing Schemester goes, since you're not giving him much and he knows he gets nothing from Nova, he'll just sort of turn to the guy he knows best, Armament. the guy who's not actively trying to steal his drink, and he'll say, "Hey, Armament, is this giving you the creeps too?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that yeah. Remember when your friend V stole this doll because she was I don't know, she was weird. Why'd she do that?
Ensorcelled by it?
Yeah, look at that doll. Who'd want to pick that up? Oh wait,
Not me.
I think Nova. Puffs a couple times.
Can I grab it?
Yeah, you can pick the doll. You can walk to pick the doll up if anybody wants. If any of your compatriots
Hell
want
yeah.
to stop you, they could. But if you go,
I would
Sure,
say,
why not?
wait. I'd stop. No,
okay.
don't touch anything.
Did we bring the other doll in? The old one?
Did you?
I mean, I assume we need it for this thing, right?
Yes, you would have. So I guess if you brought it in, who's carrying it?
Me.
Great. Okay, so Nova reaches for the doll. Holding another doll, you pull her back. As you guys sort of look down, though, Nova, you feel something like slightly shifting in your hands. And when you look down, the doll that you're holding is smiling at you like the doll over there, but when you look back, that doll's gone.
Oh.
Where'd it go?
All right.
She's smiling at me. I love her.
The Dreadlords all kind of, upon seeing you holding it, the Dreadlords all kind of like, in varying ways, seem to just, they're not bowing, but they're like, they're inclining their heads if they have them in a sense of respect. You see a small avalanche going down on Gaivis Mons. Even sort of, even Basing Smoke is like, I will incline myself for such a beautiful creature as this is. The fleecing schemester will say to Armament, "Oh yeah, this seems like some kind of right's about to happen for sure."
Yeah.
Nova, what is your listen modifier? How many dice do you have in listen? Under vitality.
Check. 5 and 1 lore die.
5 and a lore, huh? Oh dear. Well, where's the lore coming from? Nope, lore is coming from. Yep, nope, lore is coming from not. Yep. Lore is not coming from a Dreadlord. So, I'm gonna say with no roll required, you hear someone whispering to you. And upon realization it's the doll, you could hold her up to your ear and you'd hear her voice. As you pull this doll up to your ear, the small porcelain face, it's kind of cool, just even hovering near your skin. And yet something about it is friendly to you. The way that ghosts are friendly to you, Nova, the way that when you find something ghostly, that it feels fun and familiar and exciting and scary, but in a good way. Unworldly, but in a way that it feels right. And she says in this very sweet little voice that only you can hear, "Do you want me to come play?"
Yeah, that sounds fun.
What sounds fun?
Oh, well, Maisey says she wants to play with me.
That doll?
Did we see that the Dreadlords are bound to the one that she has?
You do. You've noticed that they're all staring. Really, it's like they're kind of staring at Nova and the doll, but they're all just kind of very, sort of like that. Except for the fleecing schemester, who's just kind of watching. Ooh, this gives me the heebie-jeebies. I like it.
I actually do have a creepy ghost figurine. I grab it.
You're free to if you want to.
She's gone.
Suddenly, the lights go out only on Nova. She's enveloped in a shroud of shadow. It looks like we have a raid. Hello, raiders. Yeah, we're in the midst of a long-awaited attempted summoning of an evil doll creature. It's a little trick-or-treater. Oh dear. That's upsetting for a few reasons.
Yep. I bought it because I thought it looked haunted. It might be.
Yeah.
It seems like a decent odds. So as the stall, you're holding the stall, the Dark Lords around you are all sort of giving it some homage, some deference.
It's actually a piggy bank.
What's inside of it? Souls?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just
What do
gonna
we do?
scoop behind. I'm gonna drag Callie behind Dr. Stone.
You guys are just both before Arbit, who's I'm sure in full like hero suit mode at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ3, go ahead.
So what do I do now?
Nova, the doll whispers to you again. If you want me to come play, everybody's gotta ask.
I don't know how I'm gonna get them all to ask.
Oh, it's easy. They don't have to ask
Guys.
by asking. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no.
If she says, they don't have to ask by asking. I just want to hear everybody scream. Won't
I
everybody?
don't know how you're gonna make them do that.
Will you make them do that, Nova? Will you be my friend?
But they're my friends.
You guys, I've heard Nova talk to herself many times. So not that this is an alarming thing, but it doesn't feel great. Are we just gonna keep going with this? Okay. Okay.
I'm just reaching for the beer from this gangster.
You're just doing like a slow thing, and Fleece
Yeah.
Skeepster will kind of he'll just like shift himself so he's just like put some like cigar ash on your fingers instead. Yeah, nice try, but you should focus on the task at hand.
But what is the task at hand?
I don't know.
Where's that dog?
Did you put the dog in your head?
The dog.
No, I thought he was just gonna come with us.
No, only the Dark Lords could enter.
Yeah.
So are you basically Nova? The doll has you have noticed that Nova has been talking to the doll, has been replying to it. So clearly Nova's having some conversation.
I mean, this is part of the ritual. I assume. I don't know.
Are we supposed to do something, Nova?
Well, Maisey said that she wants all of you to scream.
Okay.
Like
Callie says similar and grips your hand tighter.
what kind of scream?
Good question. What kind of scream, Maisey? Like they're scared, or like
Cheering?
like yeah, like a chant,
Like a woo?
or do you want everyone to bow down? No.
No. I can come play if everybody screams. Like they're scared.
Oh. Yeah, Maisey wants everyone to be scared.
The Dreadlords sort of shift, kind of awkwardly. Little avalanche, little dragon wings, and pregnant hooves. Forks and Doffer just on his ad machine. Click, 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 click. The stone man goes, I can scream. If that's what she's asking for. We'll scream if you scream. We all scream! When you scream.
Like, the level of admin that this is requiring feels like a little bit higher than the other ones we've done. Is that alarming or?
Don't you like this though? You gave us more work to do.
Well, I enjoy work that can be done on paper, work that can be given as a presentation. This feels not quite in the realm that I like.
Present your scream with Callie.
Yeah, or like, what if you write it on a paper? And like you write on the paper, and that's the scream.
So is it the Dreadlords that need to scream?
From what Nova can understand, it seems like it's the Dreadlords
Everyone.
and you all need to scream.
Yeah, I'll scream.
All right, yeah, the Dreadlords get screaming. Let's go.
So Mark
I mean,
Stone,
it won't be scared because it
understood.
doesn't happen. But
Mark Stone and DJ3 just scream aloud.
yeah,
The Dreadlords also, so there's like a loud cacophony. It's intense because there's also a horse neighing and a dragon roaring and a mountain sort of breaking, so it's loud. But I would like everyone here to make a detect vibe roll. As this screaming goes on, do you and Callie scream? I'm gonna let you control Callie here as well.
Yeah, I would say we scream because everyone's screaming and it's loud and scary.
Everybody just sort of attempts a scream. You all sort of shout. Give it a detect vibe.
No matches.
No matches.
2 6s.
You can do this one though, because this won't have. You get 6. 2 6s from Nova. Okay,
Is this highest or lowest?
that's the highest.
3 2s.
3 2s. 3 2s is pretty good, sir.
I got a straight.
You literally. Okay, yeah. Reroll for free.
Sorry.
That's wild. Wow. DJ3 has 3 2s. Okay, so I think you're getting the sense of it. Ooh, you have 3. Yeah, so basically DJ3 and Frankie, everybody's screaming. Nova, you just hear the noise, but when everybody's in screaming, nothing happens. And I think that both Frankie and DJ3 have a sense that the energy in this room does not sound scared. Some of the Dreadlords are scared. But certainly you guys screaming don't sound scared. Also, the Fleecing Schemester didn't scream. Whoa.
Oh.
Well, you guys are real joiners, huh? Alright. No problem.
Can I do a performative scream?
You may use performance to scream. Please attempt to deduct whatever you wouldn't have with.
Well, the thing that he gave me was having all the folks.
How many dice do you have for perform?
For perform?
Yeah.
9 SD 4 LD.
Nine SD for LD.
Yeah.
So you could not have as many performers as you have without him there. That's the idea.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'll tell you what. Roll 10 with 1 LD.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just assume we're just gonna remove 3 of that. Anybody else, if you'd like to, you
How
could.
about
Yeah.
a nice jacket to throw on with it, like a scary jacket?
You have the. Yes, you may put a jacket on. Actually, you can put a jacket on. Do you have to roll to put the jacket on, or you just spend power? And put
You can put it on, but there's also a roll if needed.
Make the
There's
roll.
an ability.
Make the roll.
All right. Where did my other dice go?
Is anyone else going to attempt to scream actually in terror in response to that explanation? And or will anybody ask the Fleecing Schemester to scream this time?
Yeah. If I have +3 knowledge from Wednesday in the macabre, will that aid me?
Wednesday can scream. She
Right.
usually doesn't, but she knows all of, and Wednesday especially knows how to make people scream. So yes, you can add that. Are you going to do a perform as well, Dr. Markstone?
Yeah.
Okay. Nova, you don't have to roll anything because I feel like you can give her the kind of scream she's looking for. Frankie, are you going to scream?
Was I not scared enough the first time?
That's actually a great point. This is really upsetting. So yes, I'll say that you and Callie are scared enough that if you choose to scream, you will. Do you want to say anything to the fleecing schemester who didn't scream last time?
Oh, I would not like
Okay,
to.
understood.
But
Would anybody like to say that to those who've noticed the fleecing schemester didn't scream, and anybody want to ask if he'll participate?
Yeah, come on. Put that big mouth of yours into it.
Wait, I'm kind of surprised you're going along with this, man. This seems a little out of character for you.
We're here.
Well, that's fair. Fine. That's a real good argument. Well, I didn't want to start this war, but since we're here, let's firebomb Dresden. All right.
I got 3 ones.
3 ones. Dr. Mark Stone thinks about fear, thinks about terror. Perhaps thinks about what literally he's doing right now might unleash, and lets forth a horrified scream. Frankie and Callie, hearing him do that, probably just scream themselves in terror. Nova, you scream, no problem. The Fleecing Seamster screams. The Dark Lords scream, putting a little more fear into it. And in the case of the Stone Man, a little bit of, oh my god, it's bad, it feels good at the same time. DJ3, what did you roll for your jacket?
5 5s.
5 5s. Suddenly on Dr. Mark Stone. It is one of the strangest things you've ever seen. You never thought that you'd earnestly think this, but you suddenly see someone wearing the most terrified jacket you've ever seen. The jacket itself is not scary, but the jacket clearly makes the person wearing it feel like they are hunted and haunted. That they are persecuted by apparitions and terrors and dark things, and have been for every moment of their life. And more, the way the jacket hangs, the cut of the lapels, indicates that this is an ongoing and incurable condition. This jacket oozes of fearsome, inescapable dread. DJ3, make your performer.
It's just images of Jacket Girl's dating life.
Yeah, the jacket is just
just
you're just being bombarded. Jacket Girl. You're just being bombarded.
All of her
with
images
Jacket
of
Girl
all of her dating life.
at so many funerals.
So many old men.
He's rolling 10. Nova, remember when you rolled so good so you were the one who saw the doll and made a connection, which is great because you're the ghost person? That was really cool when you did that. I just want you to know that.
5 5s again.
Oh, 5 5s. Honestly, I'm going to say that the fact that you've rolled the same number both times will simply mean that the performance is perfectly suited to the jacket. Every Dreadlord might not be exhibiting true terror. Each one of you, some of you are doing it in a performative way. But what DJ3 does is lets loose this wail, this keening, terrified wail, and it mingles with all the others. The room is very frightened and frightening. You all stop the scream. The terror hangs in the air, and Maisey moves in Nova's arms in a much more complete way, rather than just Nova kind of lifting her to her ear. Maisey suddenly taps Nova and then turns to all of you and says, "Hello, everyone. Thank you for summoning me here. It's been so long since I've been in a place like this. And I'm so excited for all the fun we're going to have together. I've known about this for a long time. Characters. they really any different than a person or a dragon or a mountain when you really get down to it? Should we go meet everyone else? I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go then. We're gonna have so much fun together. And she kind of like pets your hair, Nova, your long white hair.
Well, she seems nice.
She is my new friend. Just like Megan.
And in fact, as this happens, kind of once you guys have sort of gotten to this point, I suppose this probably happened like while that was going on, but there is a moment where everything, oh no, better. If you guys, the door into the room swings open, and as you step out, you find yourself in total darkness. And then sort of hanging in front of you, it's odd because for each of you, no matter where you are, it seems like it's just like 4, 5, 6 feet hanging in a void is just Maisey. Smiling softly, and then suddenly you're just back outside of Bitter End, and Maisie's still in your arms, Nova, but she's moving. A new mythic level deific character has been unlocked. The fleecing seamster goes, well, yeah, she seems a little different. Hey, Maisey, remember me? Maisey goes, of course I remember you. You're one of the first people I spoke to in a very long time, after I was dormant for so long. Thank you for making your deal with me. Yeah, well, you kind of sucked me into your world after we made that deal. I just wanted to play with you more. Yeah, well, I don't really have a good argument for that, because, I mean, I probably should have known she would do that, since she's a haunted doll, right? Man.
How do you two know each other?
Well, let's just say, him and his friends, he sort of points to Armament, stuck her somewhere that one of my nemesis had made for them, but also he'd stolen some other stuff, so I made a little trade with her to mess with them because I thought it would be funny. And instead, I got trapped in her world, but at least it's got good tunes, good cigars, good beer, good bikini magazines. Actually, really good bikini magazines. Maisey goes, I'm glad you like them.
They don't have the internet?
In some of the domains they do, in others they don't. Maisey's just petting Nova's hair.
New best friend.
Oh my god.
That's so nice. Maisey, do you know how to braid hair?
Maisey will look at you and say, yes, as a matter of fact, I do know how to braid hair. Would you like me to?
Yes, please.
Maisey starts braiding your hair, Nova. Her tiny little porcelain hands, twisting it into strange shapes, and you sort of feel the tug, and it's interesting because at times it feels sort of just sweet and nice, like anyone would braid your hair. But then at times she just pulls your hair a little too hard. Frankie, I'm going to say you notice it first. And you probably gasp, because Maisey has braided Nova's hair into a rope, which she's then tied into a noose.
Can I just reach over quickly and try and undo it?
You may. Make a, go back to your normal human, and make a, fine motor skills. Oh, you're good at those.
Was there a doubt?
There was no doubt. I'm so sorry. There was no doubt. If you'd like to undo the noose that Maisey is braiding.
I'm sorry,
And you're.
Oh
and
no.
Maisey just like her little hands are just still moving, and
I don't
every
wanna
time they
touch
touch them, and she kind of turns to you and like smiles.
No, but she's making a noose. I don't know if you care or if that bothers you. But
Oh, that Maisey, she's so silly.
oh my god.
And I'll do one on the other side too, so it evens out.
She can't come home with us, right?
No, I mean, as far as you know, she's a character. She should be down here. At this point, and it's so interesting that this is a key character who's going to be sort of doing this. But at this point, having been in your mind, Santa Claus comes moving over. Goes, ho ho ho! Something seems very amiss here. My naughty list is going off the charts right now.
Uh-oh. What'd they do?
Well, I'm a little confused about that part. Maybe can I see you find people without any other characters nearby? It might be for a Christmas surprise. Never too early to start planning, after all.
Yeah, sure.
I want that beer for Christmas.
Really? Well, I want more beer and more cigars and more bikini magazines for Christmas, so we don't always get what we want. He just kind of wanders away. Maisey are you going to set Maisey down, Nova? Santa Claus is asking to speak to you without Maisey.
Santa Claus is asking.
Yeah.
So basically,
down.
you'll set Maisey down, and
Santa knows I love him. Sorry, Maisey.
that's okay. She'll kind of look at Santa and say, I don't have much use for him anyway. And Santa kind of stares at Maisey and what a little elf there. This way, everyone, please. Come along, my friends. And he'll kind of start, moving you guys away. You do notice, like, Wildorado just kind of shifting around in his sort of creepy way, as always. And, if you guys kind of move over, we'll say that you get right back to sort of the clock tower, the elevator entrance. Harley is, of course, she wasn't in there with you, so she's like, well, it looks like so you guys went ahead and summoned Maisey, huh? Wow, that's so interesting. So how are you feeling about that, Frankie?
TBD.
Oh, you know what? What excellent self-awareness to, like, not know how you feel yet. I love that. So as she kind of moves you guys over, Santa Claus is like, quick down the chimney, quick. Let's go, everyone, over. All right. Does anyone have eyes on, oh, I know. Hey, Elbrand. Hey there, Santa, how's it going? Elbrand, I need a good boy like you to do something important for me. Could you make sure that Maisey, or none of the Dark Lords are anywhere near us for a few minutes? Absolutely. It would be my honor. I think I actually know just the thing. Hey, would anyone like to hear a very spooky ghost story? And Elbrand just kind of walks over to where you guys left all of the horror creatures. Hi, scary people. Have I got a story for you? It takes place in, get this, a graveyard. So as that's going on, Santa kind of turns to you and says, all right, so, unfortunately, my information is a little incomplete here. I seem to have a certain amount of connection to my multiversal self, but since I'm only a character representation, I'm not the real Santa, so I don't have sort of my multiversal knowledge, as it were.
Well, of course
You're like
not
a
the
mall
real
Santa.
Well, you know what, DJ3, actually, let's say I am like a mall Santa, but I work for the big guy. So, I was worried about something. I actually I was looking at some of the other characters you've been researching and looking into. There's another Master Mage, you see. A Master Mage who I've been having some trouble with recently. He's like me. He's a newer Master Mage.
Who is it?
Well, like me, he's a figure who appears in lots of different worlds, lots of different iterations. He's captured the public. He's captured the imagination.
Krampus.
Well, no, not Krampus. It's someone called Count Dracula.
Like from the book.
Precisely. You know him from a book. He exists in different books, but
It's
like
from the theme party.
exactly, he's in Theme Party, but I think he might be in other stories too. If you started researching, for example, I'm pretty sure he exists in your world. He'll point to sort of Dr. Mark Stone. Dr. Mark Stone, I don't think Do you have any skill in like the arcane in magic in lore of
I have
nature?
+2 in Magic Arcana.
You do have +2 in Magic Arcana. Make an analyze roll with Magic Arcana.
3 6s. Wow.
3
6,
6s.
6, 6, baby.
The number of the beast. All right, perfect. Dr. Mark Stone, I'm gonna say that with that 3 6s, and it's all about angles and perspectives, which is a great thing for this. As you 666, you do suddenly have this kind of dark realization. You have heard people refer to like vampires. You know, you vampires must exist in the top line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah.
Count Dracula is there. You're suddenly realizing when people would refer to Dracula or some like vampire prince, you're like, oh my god, Dracula is real in our world. Like the book is just like a story, you know, like
Yeah.
like in this world they have a book of Dracula. In other words, they have a book of Dracula. In yours, Dracula's real. Frankie, you will know that in both DC and Marvel, there is Dracula. More prominently in Marvel, but there is also like Dracula exists. Dracula, you see, Dracula, Santa Claus, and then there's one other person who's a master mage. We won't get to that. That's redacted for now. Dracula is one of the most filmed characters in existence. Has appeared in more movies, been portrayed by more
Which is
people.
interesting with someone who doesn't have a reflection.
I know. So, as you sort of, yeah. How do they capture him on the?
Right?
Don't use an SLR camera. But guys, enough about SLR cameras. The point is, as you're sort of considering this, Santa Claus is telling you, I was worried that you were bringing him in, but the trouble is, well, whatever it is you just brought in here, she's a very naughty girl.
Yeah.
But I think that's just one aspect of what they are. And, I think that this Maisey might be in the process of becoming a master mage.
How do
How
you become
so?
a master mage?
Well, ordinarily you have to capture hearts on different worlds and different stories. You become a story, then you become a real thing, and you become a real thing in different universes and in different echoes through the multiverse. Sometimes you don't have the same name, but you fulfill the same role. I'm not always Saint Nick. I have other names, and I'm not always about Christmas. Sometimes it's about Yule, or sometimes it's just about... Listen, the point is, this Maisey, she's not new, is my point. She's just a version of something else. And I don't think it's a master mage I'm familiar with. It's none of the gods, but it's something. And it's... I'm just worried about her. I'm worried about her being here, that's all. Worried about what that might mean for other places. If you create something as a character, if you define something as a character and bring it to life here, what does that do to it other places?
Well, didn't we bring you here?
Well, you did, but I was already a jolly old elf in a lot of different places. That's why I can hire elves and treat them the way I do, because I'm an elf myself. But I'm much taller and I don't look like one. Anyway, we don't need to get into sort of my business practices. I don't like Trump, but his policies might be better for my, you can't always vote your conscience, is my point. Anyway.
That wasn't a good analogy.
No, you definitely can't always vote your conscience, Santa.
I don't know if some people did earlier today, Dr. Stone.
Oh, the best. So, as you guys glance over and see Elbrand trying to scare a bunch of dreadlords by going, and then the hook was on the car handle. On the speeder handle, is what he would have said. As he's sort of saying that, and the Dark Lords just like blank, just giving him nothing. And as Santa has sort of said what he's just said there, that is where, off of Frankie's eviscerating burn, that is where we're going to end tonight's session of Lost Lore Academia. Master mages. Ooh, so what does this mean? What does this mean about... What does this mean about Dracula in both Blood from a Stone and Theme Party? Yeah, very good questions. Ooh, and what does this mean about what Maisey is trying to become, or is on the cusp of becoming?
And who's the other one?
And who's the other one? The other one is actually pretty easy to determine, but we'll get into that another time. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I know we also had a bunch of raiders show up, so thanks for being here, raiders. Yeah. We appreciate you popping in after your previous streams. So this was just kind of a long going game, and we just were summoning some characters in this world. These are just some college students who just do their thing. We have other games on this channel. On Friday, we have Blood from a Stone. On Sunday, we'll be back with Here Be Dragons. On Monday, we'll be back with Theme Party, unless we're not because it's a holiday. And 1 week from tonight, we'll be back either with this or more Top Flight Tales to be determined. But we'll have some other fun, ongoing adventure 1 week from tonight. If you'd like to interact with us, please go to our Discord. If you'd like to see old episodes, here, if I did that right, yeah. You can watch old episodes on our YouTube. And you can also go to the wiki, which I think was just updated with which, Sophia, help me out, which series is now in there? Is it Civilized Age? I think it's Civilized Age. One of our Star Tales series is now is on has the wiki. Civilized Age has wiki as like recaps and summaries. You can sort of read about that too, which is really cool. That's sort of the main stuff we've got. Would anyone here please follow all these wonderful players, by the way, in any social medias that they do or don't do. But don't follow the social medias that they don't do, I guess. That would be creepy of you. But yeah, anybody want to plug anything or talk about also? And big thanks to everyone who raided in. And I don't know if we have any other thank yous for the evening.
Yeah, I guess also just a thank you to Chow Jordan and High Shelf Collective for raiding tonight. Just to reiterate, we appreciate that, and then thank you to myself, as well as Sophia, Distracted, and Berninger for resubscribing. We appreciate it always. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not plugging anything. I don't know.
You don't have to.
You know what? I'll plug toothpaste.
There we go. Also, I also will say that any comments I made about Santa and his political views are based solely on the following thing, which was I really liked this. I saw a graph that was it was like a 4-quadrant graph, and it was on a scale of loves Christmas, hates Christmas, like capitalist, anti-capitalist, and it was Santa was loves Christmas, capitalist. Jesus was loves Christmas, anti-capitalist. The Grinch was hates Christmas, anti-capitalist, and Scrooge was hates Christmas, capitalist. And I really thought that was a really good thing. So I was just leaning into that. Apologies. Yeah. He doesn't like the guy, but he's, he considers himself a small business owner.
Sure.
So anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun. We'll see you next time for a world. Oh my God! In all the craziness, I did not reveal Maisey.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
guys ready for the Lego reveal of
you.
Maisey?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God! All right.
Been waiting.
So sorry.
Big deal.
There you go.
That's so good.
It's the tiny.
Just a tiny little thing. She's just a little.
I love her.
Little doll, little purple doll.
Can you put her in my hand? Can you hold it? Yeah.
Oh my God! No. Why did I have random? Let's.
How dare
Is that
you?
actually like a Lego piece?
Yeah, it's a Lego piece. It's a Lego doll.
Oh my God, so cute. I tried.
It was. I found a white one and painted it purple.
Okay. I was like, what did you like? One of those little figures from like the Life board game?
No, it's a Lego piece. It fits. It has an anti-stud on the bottom.
Yeah.
You can. So yeah.
Wild.
Good stuff. There's Nova holding Maisey. Well, that'll do it for us tonight. I cannot believe I forgot to show Maisey. That's in all the excitement.
How dare you?
Well, it's because Nova showed it.
That's true.
She had her own.
Nova had
Yeah, on my creepy piggy bank. that I need to get rid of at some point because I'm sure she's haunted.
No. See, we should see if we can get rid of that.
Oh, come on. Look at his eyes.
All right,
Oh
everybody.
no, that's my favorite.
Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, class dismissed.